We would like to thank our live stream partners, Captain U, Hudson, JL Sports, Regatta Central, Vespoli, Visit Sarasota, and Wintech Racing for their continued support to make today's broadcast on ESPN possible. Please visit usrowing.org to learn more about each of these incredible companies.
They've spent hours on the water, days on the ergs, conditioning, running, building up their strength and fitness for this event, the 2019 World Rowing Under-23 Championships from Sarasota, Bradenton, Florida, USA. Glad to have you along for the first time live on ESPN Rowing. I'm Mark Purcell here with Colleen Saville from World Rowing and David Wyand from U.S. Rowing, here to call the races on day 2 of the competition here at Nathan Benderson Park. And we have the first of the races underway right now. It is the women's double sculls with Hungary in lane 1, Estonia in lane 2, Austria in lane 3, Australia in lane 4, Brazil in lane 5, and Greece in lane 6. Colleen, David, welcome, and what a morning it is. We're trying to outrace some weather here, so the competition has begun just a little bit early, but look at that water.
Absolutely beautiful water, Mark, and good morning to everyone. Yes, we are trying to outrace the weather, so we're started a little bit early this morning. At the moment, conditions are absolutely fabulous. The water is flat. You can see just that beautiful flat water in your shot right there. And we kick off the morning with the under-23 women's double. It's a great start from Hungary on the far side of your screen. They currently lead the field. They were quickest off the starting blocks. So a good start from Hungary and Austria as well, David, as we move through the first quarter of this race.
I was watching this double from Austria, and they're rowing about 35 strokes a minute really from the very beginning of the race. So we'll see how that comes into play. They didn't really go out at a super high stroke rating, so they conserved a little bit of energy, did Austria, and kind of went straight into what we would call the settle or their rhythm for the entire race. And you can see them sitting in second place behind Hungary. Hungary, a little bit opposite game plan in terms of going out a little bit higher and wanting to get the lead. The progression in these women's double heats, we're going to have 2 heats, is that the top boat will go straight to the A final and eliminate a race from their program here in Sarasota, Bradenton, another qualifying race. So it definitely matters. If you can try to win this race, it's going to be to your advantage. You'll eliminate a race from your program.
We watch these doubles, the Scullers coming down the water, the first race of the day. A beautiful park here, and Nathan Benderson Park in Sarasota, Bradenton. It has the trails on the far side of the course, allowing coaches and others to follow along with the race the entire length of the race course. It also has a beautiful finish tower where we're sitting right now, allowing us a full view of the entire course, as well as a look right down the finish line. Made specifically for these world-class events here at Nathan Benderson Park. This beautiful venue has hosted the World Rowing Championships back in 2017, the World Masters in 2018, and now here in 2019, it is the Under-23 Championships for World Rowing.
And a nice job from Hungary still in the first stretch of this race. So as we noted and as you've seen, they led off the starting blocks. They're continuing to hold their lead. Greece gaining a little bit of steam here as we move through the body of the race. You can see the bow seat in the Greece shell, just looking over her right shoulder to see exactly where Hungary is, to see if they can track them down. They've taken a little bit of a lift in the rate and pressure, that rhythm working for them. But of course, Hungary with the advantage in that even though they'll have to glance across the race course, they do have Greece in sight. So as David told us, it is just one boat to final A. It looks like Greece is starting to make a press for it. They've just barely started to overlap with Hungary, not quite, still open water separating them.
Yeah, Greece still really putting in a lot of effort to try to see what they can do to match Hungary's speed or find a little bit more speed, put some pressure on that boat from Hungary. But as you said, Colleen, it's difficult for these rowers sometimes when they have 4 lanes between the 2 boats that are sort of vying for the lead. It's going to be fairly difficult for the rowers in the Greek boat to even see the rowers from Hungary at this point. So they can see the other 4 boats that they're racing can Greece, but they probably can't see Hungary up there in lane 1. So that is sort of a fact of this race as they go down the race course. Can Greece find some speed, and do they know where they are relative to Hungary? Certainly they see the other competitors and they know they're in front of them, but are they going to be able to ever sort of track down Hungary or even know where they are as they come down the race course? We're past the halfway point. They're in the third 500 of our 2,000-meter race course here at Nathan Benderson Park, and just a great way to start off our morning with these women's doubles. We're going to have the remaining heats of all the events that did not run heats yesterday. So it's going to be the doubles events and then the fastest boats on the water, the 8s, all within the first hour this morning.
Germany, Greece, Australia, and United States among the potential A finalists in this group of women's double sculls. 2 of those boats in this race right now, Australia and Greece. But out in front, it is Hungary really making a move and trying to capture and hold that one spot that'll advance to the A finals. We'll have not only heats today, but also repechage from the race yesterday.
Yeah, Greece still pushing. In fact, Greece right with Hungary now. So something in that third 500, either Hungary lost a little speed or Greece just had, they've decided they want to have a second half that is just too good for the rest of the field. Now, it's still Hungary out in front, but Greece really pushed it and got it close there, and then I think Hungary pushed back out. So we've got Hungary still at the top of the screen. They're in lane 1, furthest from our finish line tower here and the camera. And they're doing what they need to do to stay out in front up there in that lane 1 position. These lane draws for the heats a little bit randomized. So as the racing progresses in these events, we're going to see generally the faster boats from the previous round in the center lanes. But we won't see that with the heats.
Greece and Hungary matching stroke for stroke speed-wise right now as they come towards the line, entering the Red Boys in the final 250 meters of this 2,000-meter race course. Hungary, though, very much in control from the start here, Colleen, and continuing to lead, looking like they will hold on and advance to the A final, while the remaining crews in this race will go to the repechage.
And Hungary, of course, this combination we saw earlier this season at World Cup 1. So they rode up a class in that senior category. They finished 5th there in the women's double. So, of course, wonderful to see them back at the U23s. We saw them last year, the U23s as well. One in the double, one in the single. That's Gadanyi in the double and Priel in the single.
They cross the line first. It's Greece in second, slacking off on the strokes as they come to the line. Third will belong to the boat from Australia, followed by Austria and Estonia, as well as Brazil. In the women's double sculls, 2 heats, 1 boat going to the A final in each of the heats. The second of the heats will include 2 other contenders for the A final, the USA and Germany. The lineup will be Germany in lane 1, Canada in lane 2, Nigeria in lane 3, the USA in lane 4, and the People's Republic of China in lane 5 in the second heat.
And they're on the race course, Mark, so we might...
We'd like to thank Captain U. This year, U.S. Rowing has again partnered with Captain U as its exclusive online athlete recruiting partner, providing rowers with a free recruiting profile and resources for rowing in college. The profile allows athletes to publish erg scores, academics, and videos all in one place. Additionally, athletes can connect directly with college rowing programs, receive guidance throughout the recruiting process, and search for colleges to find the best fit. Head to CaptainU.com to create your free profile today. It's the 2019 World Rowing Under-23 Championships just underway. The first heat of the women's double sculls has already taken place. The second of those heats underway right now. Germany in lane 1, Canada in lane 2, Nigeria in lane 3, the USA in lane 4, and the People's Republic of China in lane 5. And we're picking up the race just through the 1,000-meter mark right now. And it does look like it's the German boat in lane 1 and the USA in lane 4 battling for that first place and place in the A final.
And the only boat off the pace here right now is Nigeria as they came through the halfway point. So it's the U.S. and Germany really going after that one spot. As you said, Mark, this German boat finished, Germany won the silver medal last year in this event. And the U.S. boat is made up of 2 rowers that have spent their undergraduate time at Stanford. It's Emily Delman and Elizabeth Sherris. And I was looking at the World Rowing or the Concept 2 website, and I don't think you're going to find female athletes with more ergometer world records. I think combined they have something like a dozen ergometer world records for the 2 rowers in the United States boat. It's pretty amazing what they have done on the ergometer, and they're trying to do it on the water here on home water, and they're going toe-to-toe with Germany. What a race.
The ergometer, by the way, in rowing is also known as a torture machine. It's the indoor rowing machine that replicates the movement that you have in a boat, and it's how rowers will train indoors during the winter or indoors during inclement weather. And they do have races on those indoor rowers as much as they do here on the water.
They do. And taking a look at Germany and the USA, they're moving right now at very similar speeds. Germany maybe now just a touch faster. But what's interesting is that Germany is about 3 strokes per minute lower. So the US getting the work done with the stroke rate and the power. But we will want to keep an eye on Germany because they'll have somewhere to go. Stroke rate, of course, being the number of strokes that these athletes are taking per minute. So Germany has a little bit of room there. The USA, though, rowing it quite aggressively now at 38. Not quite able to pass Germany yet as we move through into the last quarter of this race.
Amazing work going on between Germany and the USA. And right now, the USA really fighting. That's Elizabeth Shares and Emily Delleman. They have medals from the junior and under 23 levels in women's sculling events. We'll have to see if they can row well together here as Germany begins to move out and forward. And in the meantime, it is Canada in third place right now at the 1,500-meter mark, not that far behind those lead boats.
Yeah, Germany really pouring it on. You talked about it, Colleen. They had a little bit more space in terms of stroke rating. They weren't quite as high as the United States coming into the last 500 meters, and you can see some very high stroke ratings now. United States is not holding back. They are going after it. They're trying to get past Germany, but they may just run out of water in these last 150 meters to our finish line here at Nathan Benderson Park. Canada, as you said, Mark, really showing some good speed there, too. These three boats, only one will go straight to the A final, but we will be remembering these boats in terms of similar speeds as they come down for the remaining rounds that we have in this women's double event. But right now it's Germany about 3 strokes from the line to win and move forward to the A final in Heat 2 of the women's double here at our Under-23 World Championships. And it is going to be Germany by a length over the United States, with about a deck over Canada in third place. Then in fourth place, it is People's Republic of China that will finish ahead of Nigeria in that order. So it's Germany moving straight through.
Now, only one boat going to the A final, but in the meantime, the remaining boats will go to repechage and fish again, as they say, trying to get in to the A final and or one of the other finals. So we will watch those boats in the repechage because there will be more than one opportunity for them to advance. From the sculls, the women's double sculls, to the men's double sculls, we have in this heat the Swiss in lane 1, Germany in lane 1, Canada in lane 2, Norway in lane 3, Italy in lane 4, and Estonia in lane 5, as we're watching this next race for the men's double sculls here at the 2019 World Rowing Under-23 Championships. And right now we have Italy in the lead, just ahead of the boat from Germany, then trailed by Estonia in third. But a big move on the way right now from that boat from Italy as they try to outpace and outdistance Germany in this race.
Yeah, they just came through the halfway point. You can see Italy in the blue jerseys out in front, just slightly of Germany. But the progression there are going to be 3 heats of the men's double sculls, and the progression is 1 through 3 to the semifinal, straight through, and avoiding the repechage. So you just want to be top 3 to put yourself in the correct position here and not have to race an additional time. And right now, those places, as you said, Mark, are Italy about a length ahead of Germany, and Germany about a length ahead of Estonia in that order at the moment as they approach 500 meters to go in Heat 1 of the men's double.
Italy really distancing themselves here, Colleen.
Yeah, Italy able to hold a job well done, certainly in the first 1,000. We're now well into the second 1,000. A very smooth stroke. You can see the absolute precision at the catch and a great length through the finish. That rhythm really working for them at about 37 strokes per minute. So about a beat or 2 higher, I'd say, than the rest of the field. But this rhythm working now, moving in toward the last 500 meters of the race. It continues to be Italy by a fairly handedly margin here.
The Italian crew has several medals in the junior and under-23 categories in different boat classes. So these two rowers have not spent a lot of time together, but now rowing here in the under-23 World Rowing Championships together. Cataneo and Giumento, who are in lane 4 right now in those blue unis, and, of course, the Italian flag as their oars, and they are really moving down the course right now, wanting to hold on to that first spot and that automatic advance to the A final.
And really trying to send a message is what the Italians are doing. I don't want to generalize for an entire team, but we sometimes see the Italians rowing at pretty high stroke ratings, and they have the fitness to be able to do it. And they're really showing that they like this flat water here at Nathan Benderson Park in this Heat 1 of the men's double, and they want to go ahead and win it. They do have some open water right now on second place Germany, so it's going to be hard to catch the Italians at this point. But again, for a progression, we're looking top 3, and it continues to be Italy, Germany, Estonia in that order. In 4th place at the moment is Canada, and in 5th place is Norway. I don't think Canada and Norway are going to be able to close the gap as your leaders from Italy enter the last 100 meters in front of our finish line tower. With those blue jerseys, they're going to go ahead and cross the line in a couple of strokes ahead of Germany and Estonia, and those will be our first 3 qualifiers in the men's double for the A-B semifinals in this men's double event at the Under-23 World Championships. And it then will be, it appears, Canada probably holding off Norway for 4th and 5th place, respectively, in this Heat 1.
Yeah, Germany could be the crew to beat with Anton Finger and Heinrich Runge, 2 of the silver medal winning quadruple sculls from the 2018 World Rowing Under-23 Championship. So we'll watch that German boat in the semifinals and see how they do in the men's double. The first of 3 heats for the men's double sculls here at these World Rowing Championships. The second will feature the USA boat. The United States has entries in all 22 events here in these World Rowing Under-23 Championships, and here is their representation for the men's double sculls. It's USA's Dorsey and Koenhoven in lane 1, the Netherlands, De Jong and Rinks in lane 2, Great Britain's Kleshnev and Cartwright in lane 3, and Russia's Eskin and Matviev in lane 4. And out front it is Russia battling with the Netherlands and Great Britain right between them.
And again, we're looking top 3. So those are your top 3. They're in the screen right now. You can see the Dutchmen out in front in lane 2. And looks like a pretty steady rhythm from the Dutch. Kind of upright, not a whole lot of body movement back and forth necessarily from those 2 gentlemen, but you can tell based on the blade work and based on the bodies moving that they have rowed this boat quite a bit together, because it's really nice rowing, beautiful rowing. You can see the only boat that's sort of off the pace is the United States, so we'll see what they can do in the second half as these athletes approach the 1,000-meter mark in our 2,000-meter race course. We'll see if the gentleman from the United States can get back into the mix, or if we're going to see sort of a kind of cat and mouse game here between these 3 boats that are connected all the way down the race course. At some point, you may, in one of these boats, knowing that you're in a qualifying position and knowing you're connected with the other boats, you may want to try to test your speed. And it may not be at a point, at the finish line to try to win necessarily. It could be in this third 500. You might want to take a power move or take the rating up to see what your speed is like relative to your competitors. Maybe send a message for the next round. But that's what's going on between these top 3. We'll see if U.S. can try to close the gap and get in the mix as well.
Eskin and Matviev very smooth and moving fast there in that first place boat in lane 4.
Absolutely, and this is one of the tighter races, I'd say, that we've seen from this morning. Those top 3 boats, not quite trading places, but really maintaining that contact, I'd say, with the exception of the USA, who's a little bit off the pace now as we move into the second 1,000. It continues to be Russia, Great Britain just behind them, then it's the Netherlands and the USA, but a nice push from Russia. And David, as you say, in these heats, absolutely sending a message, I think, for some of the later rounds. They've got a nice, strong rhythm going. It's working for them. Great Britain, though, on the move, just making sure that they maintain contact as we move through the third quarter.
Yeah, the Netherlands were the silver medal winners in the men's double in 2018 in the U23 championships. So no doubt wanting to make sure that they're going into the semifinals with that chance at the A finals for sure.
Some really big guys in that Russian boat that we're seeing on the screen in lane 4, and they did make a move there sort of when I was talking about what these crews might do from that point at the halfway point to the finish line, knowing that they're sort of sitting ahead of the United States and really they just have to beat one boat in order to move straight through to the semifinal. But Russia decided they want to send a message. They want to win this heat of the men's double sculls, and they're doing it out of lane 4. Second place now is Great Britain. At one point, Great Britain was sitting in third place. The Netherlands have dropped back just a little bit there. the boat that's sitting in third place right now, with the United States trailing, but starting to show a little speed relative, I think, to the Netherlands. I just don't know if there's enough water last 250 meters.
The boat from Russia, strong and steady all the way down, and it seems almost one constant acceleration. They just seem to keep getting stronger as they're moving down the course. Eskin and Matveev really on the move and making certain that they stay out in front in this heat for the men's double sculls. An amazing sight coming down the water here at Sarasota, Bradenton, Florida. USA for the World Rowing Under-23 Championships. As they come to the line here, it does look like Russia will maintain that first place. It will be Great Britain after that, then the Netherlands and the United States of America in this heat. Those first three boats going to the semifinals, and the boat from the U.S. will be advancing to the repechage for another chance to get into the semifinals.
And a nice push from the U.S. as they come through the line. A good lift at the end. But yes, we'll see the USA in the repechage. A job well done from Russia. Also a new combination. And Eskin, who is rowing in the bow, we haven't seen since 2017 in his junior year. So great to have him back.
One last heat in the men's double sculls. Switzerland is in lane 1, Denmark in lane 2, New Zealand in lane 3, and Japan in lane 4. Now, New Zealand, this duo came out of the 2017 gold medal quadruple sculls, but were not entered in 2018, so it'll be interesting to see how they row in this race. It's Kondral and Hune from Switzerland in lane 1, Hagemann and Tolstrup Christens from Denmark in lane 2, McLean and Lopas from New Zealand in lane 3, and Kimura and Toyama from Japan in lane 4. And as we move down the course and pick up this race, it is that boat from New Zealand out in front there in the black unis, and really showing the rest of the crowd there that they have the speed and the desire to take this heat. And they really do have a pretty quick stroke rate here, David.
They do. I had them about 40 strokes a minute. That's very high for the body of a race, but obviously if you have the fitness to be able to do it, then you can do it. And that's what the Kiwis are showing right now. They're also really throwing their body weight into each stroke. So it's a distinct style from that Kiwi double at the moment that's sitting out there in first place. Second place right now is Switzerland, third place Denmark, and fourth place Japan as they come through the halfway mark. But it's going to be hard to track down the Kiwis, but we'll see if that stroke rating comes into play. It would likely start coming into play relative to the other boats in this third 500. It's difficult to keep a pace that high, so we'll see if Switzerland can close the gap at all on New Zealand.
And this combination from New Zealand, we didn't see in 2018 at the under-23s. We haven't seen them in the World Cup circuit yet this year. But in 2017, they did take gold in the under-23 men's quad. So they've decided to come back, partner up in the double. A lot of experience together, and certainly a lot of experience, including in their junior years, on the podium. So as they move through the 1,250-meter mark, which marks 750 to go, a strong rhythm from the start all the way through into the second half of the race. They show no sign of slowing down. Of course, it's top three to semifinal A, B. So the top three crews will advance, with the remaining crew relegated to the repechage.
Switzerland still in second, and really fascinating to see that difference in style from the boat we saw from Russia in the last race. Very upright and smooth as they came down the race course. And here in this New Zealand boat, as David noted, you can see very powerful and quick strokes. They're really throwing their whole body back and into it. And in rowing, you want to apply as much pressure as you can on those oars during the stroke from the time that the oar enters the water until you pop it out. But as you do the recovery and slide back towards the back of the boat, you don't want to take any of the energy away from that boat by all of a sudden throwing yourself backwards. So this is a very interesting contrast in styles in these men's doubles between the last race and this one, the final of the heats for the men's double sculls. McLean and Lopas from New Zealand still out in front, and a substantial lead, almost 7 seconds.
Yeah, that's a big lead going into this last 500, and they really have not let off the gas at all, it doesn't appear to my eye, all the shots that we've had of the New Zealand rowers, they have just been going after it every single stroke all the way down the race course. So perhaps certainly their training coming into this event is such that they wanted to go out and race all the way down the race course, lay down a time, and put themselves in the semifinals in one of the center lanes. But it is interesting how you contrast, Mark, the style of the Kiwis versus the Russians. The Russians were very big athletes, and they were actually rowing much lower stroke rating. So we'll see how that comes into play in later rounds. It could be very interesting if they're, for instance, side-by-side in the semifinal or in the final for us to really see in one screen these two contrasting styles. But it is going to be the Kiwis that are going to hang on and win Heat 3 of the men's double sculls, and they're going to do it in style, a couple boat lengths of open water ahead of the Swiss. The Swiss will then finish just a little bit of open water ahead of third place, Denmark. Those three will move through to the AB semifinal, and Japan will move to the repechage.
You're watching live on ESPN the 2019 World Rowing Under-23 Championships. I'm Mark Brazell here with Colleen Saville from World Rowing and U.S. Rowing's David Wyant as we are watching these races unfold on this Thursday morning at the World Rowing Under-23 Championships. We were just watching the men's double final heat of that, and now moving on to the women's lightweight double. Won by Italy last year, with Germany in the silver position and Great Britain as well. Quite a bit of experience sitting in the Swiss crew that you're about to see, and that is showing right now as they lead this race. The lineup for the first of the two heats for the lightweight women's doubles is Switzerland in lane 1, the Netherlands in lane 2, Germany in lane 3, Ireland in lane 4, and Great Britain in lane 5. Sophia Meeken finished fourth in the lightweight single at the 2019 European Rowing Championships, and her partner in that Swiss boat, Aline Roll, has a bronze medal from the 2017 Junior Championships and finished sixth in the lightweight double at last year's U23 Championship. So it'll be interesting to see if that boat from Switzerland continues to lead and fend off the advancing boat from Germany right now.
And as we know, for the lightweight women's double sculls, it is 2 to advance to Final A. So in each of these events, the progression being just a little bit different most of the time. So in this case, looking for top 2, as Mark told us, a lot of pedigree out of this Swiss crew, really flexing that in the first 750 meters as they approach 850 meters down. So this combination from Switzerland, we have seen this season. We saw them in World Cup 2. They finished 15th overall in the lightweight women's double. We saw them in World Cup 1 in different boat classes, the quad and the single at that time. So a lot of great racing this spring. We saw them at U23s last year in the double and the single, but they've joined forces this year, and that rhythm just working for them as they approach the 1,000 meters. Switzerland still leading.
Switzerland and Germany out in front, sitting in those two qualifying positions. But you can see the Swiss lead is pretty considerable. It's maybe more than a boat length of open water. And so really what's happening right now in this third 500 is the rest of the doubles that are in the mix. So we're talking about the Netherlands and Ireland mostly. They're going to have to see, and we're starting to see a move here from the Netherlands to try to track down Germany. So Germany's been sitting in that second spot all the way down and through the halfway point. But at 750 meters left, there is a new overlap here between the Netherlands and Germany for that coveted second spot straight to the A final, eliminating an additional race in the program. So this is the race that's on the screen in terms of what's going on for who's going to move through to that A final directly from this heat. And it's shaping up to be a great one as they approach 500 meters to go. The Netherlands have closed the gap considerably on Germany. They are in adjacent lanes, but everybody's still trailing the Swiss.
Louise Asmussen and Cosima Klotten in that German boat. Asmussen finished third in the lightweight quadruple sculls at the last year's U23 championships and has teamed up with the young Clawton. So they are really wanting to and looking as if they're rowing very well together with 500 meters to go, but they're going to have their work cut out as they are being pursued down the line towards the finish. But they do have the slight advantage right now over that boat from the Netherlands.
Switzerland continuing to lead, so holding that lead, of course, they can see the charge happening behind them. And one thing to keep in mind, of course, when you're a leading crew and there is a battle, in this case, to advance directly to Final A happening behind you, well, everyone else is getting faster. So while Switzerland holds that first place position, they may need to take some kind of a shift in power and or stroke rate to make sure that while the rest of the field advances behind them and has kind of their own subplot and their own race, that they hold on to that qualifying position. They're doing it quite nicely, though, and at the moment it is Netherlands over Germany for that critical second place position. So Switzerland holding first, Netherlands holding second, Germany currently running third, and it looks like Netherlands taking a little bit of a push, or Germany's lost a tiny bit of speed, but no doubt about it, Switzerland continues to hold with less than 400 to go.
Germany saw the red buoys at 250 and started to go. So do they have the speed in that German boat to track back down the Netherlands that passed them right around the 500 to go mark? It's getting closer because Germany does seem to be finding some speed. It doesn't appear that there's going to be enough water for anybody to catch the Swiss at this point. But right now, look how close it is connected between the Netherlands and Germany. Germany was sitting in second place the whole track, and then the Netherlands overtook them at 500 meters to go. This one's going to come right down to the line for that second qualifying position, straight to the A final. It's going to be Switzerland winning Heat 1 of the women's lightweight double, and a photo finish between Germany and the Netherlands ahead of Ireland, and in lane 5, Great Britain. What a finish there between those two boats in adjacent lanes, the Netherlands and Germany, for that coveted second spot in the A final.
Photo finish is right. We'll see what the officials say in just a moment, but certainly Switzerland and a battle all the way down to the line. A good push from Germany.
What a race and a finish there. It was quite the photo finish between Germany and the Netherlands. We'll see what the official results say as to who will advance to the A final. In the meantime, the other of the heats for the lightweight women's double on the water right now, with Japan in lane 1, China in lane 2, Mexico in lane 3, Denmark in lane 4, and the USA in lane 5. And much as we've seen in previous races, one boat out in front, making sure they're out in the lead early on and hoping to hold on down the whole 2,000 meters of this race. So in first right now is that boat from the People's Republic of China, with the U.S. boat right behind them by about half a boat length, but still in contact. But USA feeling the pressure from Denmark in the lane right beside them in lane 4.
That's right. The United States boat in second place, but really feeling the heat, as you said, from Denmark. So we'll see the United States as they come through the halfway point. People's Republic of China with a little bit of open water. Second place is the United States. A stroke woman in the United States boat, Liza Ray, is a Floridian, so she's on home water here, and she's trying to push her bow woman along, Grace Joyce, to a qualifying position in that A final. And it's very close, as you see, about a half a second separating Denmark and the USA at the halfway point, but everybody trailing China in lane 1.
And this is a new pair rowing in this double for the People's Republic of China. They're often strong in this category, and they're looking very strong as they continue down the course right now. The U.S., though, in hot pursuit and still in contact as they move down. A little glance right there from the U.S. boat to the look to the right to see where Denmark is, and keeping track of them since they are very close together.
Moving through the 1250 now, continues to be China, but USA takes a bit of a push at 36 strokes per minute, looking to really press themselves away from Denmark. Of course, this USA crew joining forces, a new combination. They rode together in the lightweight women's quad at the 2018 Under-23 Championships, where they finished in the A final, 6th overall, so certainly not strangers to each other. China, though, just able to hold that lead as China breaks away into open water. The question now, can Denmark catch the USA?
Here comes Denmark. They are trying to catch the United States. As we approach 500 meters to go, it looks like we're going to have another dogfight between a couple of boats trailing one that is out in front. You see a good shot there of People's Republic of China continuing to be out in front with some open water. And now it is extremely close in adjacent lanes 4 and 5. Denmark and the United States are fighting it out for that spot in the A final.
Indeed, they are just about a meter apart and drawing abreast. It's Denmark right up there with the boat from the USA. We'll have to see if the crowd, hometown crowd here on this beach at Nathan Benderson Park will instill some inspiration in that boat from the U.S. of Ray and Joyce as they come stroking down. In the meantime, there's Mexico and Japan still working hard, but in the lead right now, it is the boat from China in lane 2 that continues to lead, but Denmark and the USA beginning to duke it out, just 0.3 of a second separating them in at the 1,500 meter mark. So Denmark continues to be on the move and trying to overtake the leaders.
We may have another photo finish here between Denmark and the USA. Just absolutely thrilling heats here this morning. At the moment, it's looking like Denmark has a slight edge over the USA. Of course, Mark, as you said, they'll need the support from their local fans on the beach, friends and family. It's Denmark just slightly over the USA. In fact, China now slipping back. It's looking like Denmark is leading, David, as we come through this final stretch.
Yeah, unbelievable finish here coming from Denmark, being pushed by the United States, and they have pushed them through China, it appears. So now we have 3 boats really in the mix, and even getting into the mix as well as Japan with a huge last 500 meters. So we've got 4 boats here, 2 spots in the A final up for grabs. Can China hang on to one of these spots? It's Denmark out in front for sure now in lane 4, and they are ahead of People's Republic of China and the United States that are going to come down probably to a photo finish. It looks like the United States with a little push at the very end here is going to unofficially put them into the A final just ahead of People's Republic of China, who faded in that last 500 meters. Denmark and the United States going after each other and pushed past People's Republic of China with a good finish. Great last 500 meters to get in the mix from Japan, and crossing the finish line will be Mexico in 5th place. What a race.
Denmark, Olsen and Merch Pedersen with a big performance in the final 500 meters of the lightweight women's double sculls, that final heat. One of the 2 boats advancing to the A final. And it is the United States who was able to eke by, unofficially, the People's Republic of China boat that had led most of the race and qualified for that A final as well.
Yeah, an incredible race. Both of these heats in the lightweight category in the women's double have truly been photo finishes and exciting to watch all the way down. No exception to this one. But we have a race underway.
Indeed we do. This is the men's lightweight double sculls. It's Schreiber and Paul from Germany in lane 1, Kandil and Habita from Egypt in lane 2, Kennedy and Reinhardt from Australia in lane 3, Smith and Demjanovic from the USA in lane 4, and Susan Costa from Portugal in lane 5 in the lightweight men's double sculls. They're through the halfway point here right now with Germany in the lead, the Australian boat in 2nd, and Portugal in 3rd at this point.
Huge lead for Germany. You see them in the picture. They're in lane 1. A couple boat lengths of open water back to 2nd place Australia. This United States boat also has a Floridian in it. Luke Smith, a Colgate University rower. He grew up in Tampa, Florida, and rode on this race course quite a bit in high school. And his partner, Alexander Demjanovic, also goes to Colgate University. So they are teammates in college. They're sitting in 4th place at the moment. Really big-time speed in that German boat, really showing the field in this Heat 1. The progression, the first 3 will go to the AB semifinal directly and will eliminate having to row in the repechage. So we're looking for top 3, move straight through out of this heat.
Almost a 3-second lead at the 1,000-meter split for Germany over the boat from Australia. Then Australia has a couple of seconds on Portugal in 3rd place. But again, remember, we're looking for those top 3 to go to the semifinal AB right now, and that is why we are paying attention to the front runners. But Germany looking very, very strong right now with a high stroke rate, 38 their stroke rate right now through the first half of the race, and they don't look like they're slacking off at all here, David. They're still pulling hard.
No, and the striking is very clinical. You can see the blades going straight down to the water. They're not missing any water. As we would say as a rowing spectator or coach, the blades are just going right down and grabbing the water, and there's a ton of power in that boat. They're able to keep that stroke rating up high because of their fitness, and they're in the last 250 meters of our race course is Germany, still ahead of Australia and Portugal in that order. The United States in fourth place, in between on the race course, Australia and Portugal in terms of the lanes. But they're going to really have to find some speed as the United States in the last 250 meters to try to track down Portugal and put themselves in one of these semifinal qualifying positions.
Yes, another race where they'll need the support from the hometown crowd. Good to see this combination back again. We saw them last in the pair at U23s in 2018. So they switched to the double, but it will take something special, I think, in these final few strokes to get themselves into one of those top three qualifying positions. No doubt about it, though. Germany continuing to hold now in the final stretch.
A nice move for Germany to capture the lead to begin with, but right now a real race shaping up for second and third. As they come down to the line, it is Germany crossing first, but Australia, as they glance to the left, trying to make sure they stay ahead of that boat from Portugal, and it looks like it will be Portugal grabbing that third spot to go to the semifinals in the lightweight men's double sculls. In the meantime, the USA will cross the line in fourth and be moving on to the repechage along with the boat from Egypt of Kandil and Habita as they come to the line in the lightweight men's double sculls. In this event, though, it's Spain, the reigning under-23 champions, but they've sent a new-look crew of two members from their lightweight men's quadruple sculls, so we'll have to see how Spain does. They are going to line up in the second heat for the lightweight men's doubles with Uruguay in lane 1, Belgium in lane 2, Hong Kong in lane 3, and New Zealand in lane 4. And the men's lightweight doubles, actually, Spain will be in the third and last of the heats, the defending champions. But right now, it is the second heat of the men's lightweight double sculls, moving towards the halfway point. And right now, it is the lead belonging to the Black Unis of New Zealand here, with second place Belgium, third place Hong Kong, and fourth place Uruguay.
And New Zealand, Isaac Everett and Christopher Stockley finished sixth at the 2018 but under 23 championships, and they have the advantage of one more year of rowing together. So we'll see how that stacks up for them against the competition. So again, they've been practicing together, they've been racing together, rowing together since last year.
And that's usually unusual at this age level, the under-23s, to have that much rowing experience together, as these young athletes have been training and qualifying to move up with national teams or at regional events and move up to the world rowing level. They usually don't have that opportunity to have the same partner for such a long time. So this boat from New Zealand, definitely with a little bit of an opportunity here, having the experience together, Everett and Stockley there in the black, and they are using that experience right now, but still just about 0.3 of a second ahead of the boat from Belgium. That is giving them a run for their money as they approach the 1,200 mark.
Belgium, a very strong boat. If you look at them rowing, it looks like there's a lot of speed that they may not even be showing yet in that Belgium boat. That is extremely locked in terms of how they are rowing. Not a terribly high stroke rating. So I think there's probably, that's another boat to really keep an eye on as this event progresses. But Hong Kong and Uruguay right now are the two boats that appear to be connected and duking it out for the third spot straight to the semifinal to avoid the repechage. So we kind of have two races within the race here. We have Belgium and New Zealand vying for the lead. It looks like Belgium has now overtaken New Zealand, and those two boats connected or very close to connected. And then we have Hong Kong and Uruguay in lanes 3 and 1, respectively, that also are very close to one another and really trying to put themselves in that third place spot in the second half of this race.
Nice shot here, David, showing the difference in the two styles of rowing. The New Zealand in black, very upright, and the boat from Belgium, like we have seen in a previous boat, really throwing their weight back, a lot of power on that stroke as they move down the course.
And it looks easy in that Belgian boat, and it's not easy, trust me, but it looks easy. And when you look at a boat and you watch a couple of rowers that are this locked in and you think that it looks easy, then that's a pretty good sign that they're rowing very well together.
It is quite the effort that you make as a rower here. You're using every major muscle group. Your cardiovascular system has to be in peak condition to row competitively, especially at this level, Colleen, because these rowers are so well conditioned. You wouldn't believe the pain that these, even as conditioned as they are, that they're feeling here.
They make it look easy, right? And I think speaking of experience and rhythm, one thing that strikes me with the Belgian crew is that they're the youngest of the group in this category, just 18 and 19 years old. We've talked a little bit about how the New Zealand combination has been rowing together for quite some time. And Mark, as you said, that's a little bit unusual at this level. This is a new combination from Belgium, so great to see them out there getting the work done. They're starting to extend their lead, continuing to lead. They've pressed away from New Zealand, so I think that there's someone that we'll want to keep an eye on throughout this regatta.
Uruguay and Hong Kong really still going after one another. It looks like Uruguay put on a big move there at 250, and they might have a slight advantage on Hong Kong. We're looking at those two boats because whichever one finishes ahead of the other will not have to row in the repechage. And right now it's the blue of Uruguay that is pushing away from Hong Kong as the Belgians come across the line and win this heat. It's going to be New Zealand in second place and Uruguay in third place, moving straight to the semifinal and avoiding the repechage. And really a big celebration there from Uruguay, knowing what they did in the last 500 meters to get past Hong Kong and finish in third place.
And if you see any of the pictures from the course here at Nathan Benderson Park, you're noticing some dark skies looming on the far side of the course. Rain is in the forecast, and we're trying to make it through this heavy weather and hopefully get most of the competition down. There might be a break in the action with the weather that may cause a bit of a delay. But in the meantime, we still have racing on the water. It is the men's doubles right now, not the lightweights, but the doubles with Greece in lane 1, Spain in lane 2, the lightweight doubles, the last heat, Switzerland in lane 3, and Italy in lane 4, as we are watching the 2019 World Rowing Under-23 Championships live on ESPN from Sarasota, Bradenton, Florida, USA.
And a great start from Italy. Italy holding right now at about 600 meters down, again with 3 to advance to semifinal A, B. 4 boats in this race. So Italy quick off the starting block. 4th is the one position, of course, that you do not want to be in. And right now that would put Greece out. So Greece needing to do a little bit of work first to get through Spain, possibly others. But it is Italy in that first place position, David, as we approach the 1,000. And it's not looking like anyone's going to catch them, at least not yet.
Yeah, and if they maintain this stroke rating, a very high stroke rating, it's going to be hard to catch Italy. They do look very locked in, and we're starting to see some speed now from Greece. They may have actually pushed just slightly past Spain. And this beautiful picture that we have of Switzerland closest to the camera, Greece furthest from the camera, Spain in between them on the race course. These 3 boats are probably going to decide our second and third place spots straight to the semifinal as the boat from Switzerland starts to push and maybe try to track down Italy and push away from both Spain and Greece. But this is gonna be all the way down to the line to try to figure out who our top 3 are that move straight to the semifinal and avoid the repechage. But it is the blue jerseys of Italy at that high stroke rating continuing to lead the field.
And at the halfway point, all these boats separated by just about 5 seconds, so very close together. But boy, that boat from Switzerland really trying to move up on the boat from Italy, but Italy continuing to lead right now with some great stroking happening, very smooth, powerful, and moving. And just as I speak, we can see just in the corner of our picture that boat from Italy pick up the pace and begin to fly some more.
Italy certainly on the move, but what drama just behind them between Greece and Spain, truly trading positions stroke by stroke, almost depending at who's at the catch, which of course is when the athletes put their blade in the water, and who's at the finish. They are ever so close. It's just 3 to advance directly to semifinal A, B, with the remaining crew finishing 4th, relegated to the repechage. So Greece and Spain, stroke by stroke. This is absolutely thrilling racing. Of course, this combination from Greece we've seen earlier this season. We saw them at World Cup 1. We saw them in Plovdiv. They're here to race for U23s, and I think they want to make sure that they advance directly to semifinal A-B.
Some of this racing today, David, has just been amazing to see, especially in these doubles, these sculling events. It is powerful work happening with these athletes on the water. It takes an amazing effort and some incredible conditioning to race competitively at this level in the world rowing world. And these boats, it's great to see some surprises too.
And here we go. We've got 3 boats connected for those 2 spots behind Italy. For the top 3 is what we're looking for to go straight to the AB semifinals, and it's going to really come down to these last 20 strokes, which is as good as it gets in the heats. We never know when we look on paper how these things are going to shape up, and we have just a blistering one to the line here. It's Italy out in front. They've got a little bit of open water. It's Greece starting to push away. It is Switzerland still hanging on to second place. Is Spain going to be able to get back in the mix? I think they're just going to run out of water. It's Italy winning it. Switzerland just ahead of Greece and Spain, and what a competitive heat that one was in Heat 3 of the men's lightweight double sculls.
And I would say in the repechage there will be some fierce and furious racing as well to try to gain other spots in the semifinals. But boy, what a performance from Italy in the men's lightweight doubles here at the 2019 World Rowing Under-23 Championships, where we move from the smaller boats to the big boats in the men's eights. The United States recently raced at the World Rowing Cup 3 in Rotterdam, and they now go to the under-23s with 5 members of that crew that won gold in 2018. They are the reigning champions. We'll see them race in the second of the heats. But right now it's Great Britain in lane 1, Australia in lane 2, Germany in lane 3, Romania in lane 4, and France in lane 5 in the men's eights. And as they come down the course here at Nathan Benderson Park, it is the lead belonging to Great Britain through that first 500 meters, but they are almost to the 1,000-meter mark right now. Great Britain still holding on to the lead, being hotly pursued by Romania.
Even at the 1,000-meter mark, that is a tremendous lead in eights, especially at this elite level that GB has right now as they come through that sign. They're halfway through, so they've won to the halfway point. The coxswain in the GB boat looking over Vlad Sagau. He's looking over at one bow. There's one bow that remains that he is trying to tell his gentleman he doesn't want to see anymore, and that's the bow from Romania sitting in second place. Third place is Australia. The progression is going to be top 2 to the A final. So if Great Britain continues to remain out in front, we're going to have this battle going on. Romania sitting in second at the moment, ahead of Germany and the boat from Australia, but all 3 of those boats are connected. So any of those boats really in the mix, they've just got to find some speed in the second half relative to one another. And Great Britain cannot quite shake Romania. Romania is pretty pesky right there. That bow just touching the stern of the GB boat. I saw the GB coxswain looking over Vlad. He's saying, look, I want the overlap broken. I want some open water. Let's send a message. You're out in front. Let's try to loosen up a little bit, but find more speed.
750 meters to go. Great Britain holding on to the lead. Romania in very hot pursuit. But look just on the lane next to them to see that the boat from Germany and Australia as well continuing in their hot pursuit in this men's 8 heat.
And you think about the top sweeps programs in the world, especially at the senior level, of course, your mind goes straight to Germany. So perhaps they're drawing a little bit of inspiration from their senior teammates. Another program, Great Britain, just absolutely phenomenal in the 8. And of course, we know at the under-23 level, last year, Great Britain captured the silver. So they're out not just to get back on the podium, but to get the gold, I think, Mark.
I think you're right, indeed. And they have half of their boat returning here in in the men's 8. So that is an advantage, having the experience of those rowers having rowed together. But as they approach those the final 300 meters or so of this race, Great Britain continuing to lead, hotly pursued by Romania, who is just ahead of the boat from Germany, but only 2 advancing to the A final, the remaining crews to the repechage. The Great Britain continuing to lead and hold on, but Romania on the hunt.
Yeah, Romania still has their foot on the pedal, and they may be starting to close the gap just a little bit on GB. I don't think that they will catch GB by any means. It's still GB trying to go start to finish in that beautiful gold boat, and they're ahead of Romania. It's Germany. Does Germany have the speed to catch Romania? I think they're going to not have enough water to do so. So it's top 2 straight to the A final here in Heat 1 of the men's 8. And it's GB sending a message 5 strokes from the line ahead of Romania. Romania continuing to push in lane 4, but they're not quite going to catch up with GB. It's going to be about a half a length victory for GB over Romania. Those 2 will go straight to the A final in the men's 8. Germany relegated to the repechage, finishing in 3rd place ahead of France and then Australia in that order.
What a finish there from Romania. They were charging up fast there at the end, but unable to catch up with Great Britain. Another heat in the men's 8 on the way, and another 2 spots in the A final. The remaining of those boats will be moving to repechage there in that heat, and we'll see who will be moving on from the second heat in the men's 8s. Again, Great Britain will capture that spot, moving on to the A final as we have some rain. It's becoming darker here at Nathan Benderson Park, and the rain has begun to fall on the far side of the park and is advancing here towards our area as we get a good look at the heavy weather. Hopefully no lightning reported yet, but just rain. But some of the rains have been tropical and torrential here in Sarasota, Bradenton, Florida over the last couple of days. So the second heat in the men's 8s, it's Hungary in lane 1, Netherlands in lane 2, the United States of America in lane 3, and Canada in lane 4 as we pick up the race as it heads to the 750-meter mark.
And a beautiful shot of the United States now leading, just such a history in the 8. And of course, the defending champions in this category. The U23 United States men's 8 coxed by Woods Connell from Yale University, coached by the famous Steve Gladstone. He coxed the second varsity 8 at the IRA, where they finished 3rd behind Cal and Washington. So a wealth of experience, of course, throughout the entire crew, but being urged on by their coxswain, and that is just working for them right now as they break into open water over the rest of the field, 600 meters down.
United States of America bringing 22 boats, one boat in entry in each of these events here at these 2019 World Rowing Under-23 Championships. Here, the 8 hoping to defend the gold in this event as they fly down this course at Nathan Benderson Park. And I tell you what, beauty in motion when you see these 8s racing, David.
Just beautiful pictures that we're getting of these 8s coming down the race course. And you saw that the Dutchmen are sitting in second place ahead of Canada. And it's top 2 to move through. So we have the United States pretty well out in front, maybe a little bit of open water for the United States. As we saw with Great Britain in Heat 1, perhaps these gentlemen in the later rounds in the United States and GB boats might want to relitigate the Revolutionary War, but they are really showing that they've got a lot of speed between the two countries in the 8, and it's going to be a race shaping up really amongst the Netherlands, Canada, and Hungary to see who can put themselves straight through to the A final.
We have been watching some rain clouds move in and watching some showers begin to move towards Nathan Benderson Park on the radar. Now we've just heard a little rumble of thunder, so we'll have to see what will happen with the racing. Again, when it comes to inclement weather in rowing, you can row in snow, you can row in rain, you can row in some wind, but not a lot of wind, but you can't row in lightning. So no doubt the umpires and referees in charge of this competition, keeping it fair, also wanting to keep it safe, will make a decision about what will be happening with the competition here at the World Rowing U23 Championships. But right here, the heat for the men's 8s. the second of the heats, looking for two boats to advance to the A final. The United States out in the lead right now, with the Netherlands and Canada pursuing, as well as Hungary, but the U.S. out ahead by 5 seconds at the 1,500-meter mark.
And the Netherlands starting to gain some speed here in the last stretch as we approach the last 600 meters or so. Mark, as you rightly said, it is just the two crews to advance to Final A, so everyone looking to skip a race if they can. Right now, that would be the USA and Netherlands. We'll see if Canada has something in them to catch the Netherlands, in hot pursuit of the Netherlands. But as we move towards the last quarter of the race and well into the last 500, there may not be water here, David, as we come through to the end.
I think you're right, Colleen. We have the USA and we have the Netherlands way out in front. Open water at this point ahead of both Canada and Hungary. So we'll see, but I think that there is not enough water to track down the Netherlands for Canada. Some very physically imposing athletes in that Canadian men's 8, but it does look like they're going to have to row an extra race in the repechage to try to get themselves into our A final. But it's going to be the United States, start to finish, on home water, taking Heat 2 of the men's 8 here at our 2019 Under-23 World Rowing Championships, ahead of the Netherlands by about a half a length of open water, and the Netherlands finishing about 3/4 of a length of open water ahead of Canada. Canada with a bit of open water ahead of Hungary, in that order.
Just received word that there will be one more race before the competition will be suspended for a rain delay here at the 2019 World Rowing Under-23 Championships, as we watch the United States crew congratulate themselves, defending champions in the men's 8, hoping to get the gold again. Great Britain won the silver last year. Romania was in third. Two boats going to the A final, and that will be the Netherlands and the USA. The other boats, Hungary and Canada, from that heat will be moving along to the repechage. So we have the lightweight pairs on the race course right now. Again, due to weather, the women's these lightweight pairs will be the last race before a rain delay due to the weather. We'll have to let you know what's happening, because I don't know that we'll be able to have any cameras showing this race as they're coming down. The lineup here for the women's lightweight doubles, it's Germany in lane 1, Mexico in lane 2, Australia in lane 3, the USA in lane 4, and Italy in lane 5, as we are having this competition, the World Rowing Under-23 Championships, live on ESPN from Sarasota, Bradenton, Florida, USA. Live on ESPN here, but with a little bit of weather moving in, we'll have to have some camera shots when we can get them. But right now it is Australia out in the lead over Italy by about 2 seconds, but Germany close behind Italy, with the U.S. in 4th and Mexico in 5th.
And this is an exhibition race. So at a championship level race, this is a mandatory race. It does have a bearing on lanes, unlike the World Cup circuit, where the exhibition races do not have a bearing on lanes. They're not mandatory, but they're a chance for the athletes to get out and kind of get a sense of each other's race plans and test their speed against one another. But today, the Under-23 World Rowing Championships, of course, a championship race. This is mandatory, and so it's essentially a race for lanes and an opportunity for these athletes to get out onto the course and to race each other. And
this is a new category for the World Rowing Under-23's Championships, a new category. The USA are reigning Under-23 champions. Sarah Maeda returning this year with a new partner, going for the gold against tough competition from Germany and Italy right now. And you can see Italy is the boat that is in the lead as we watch them come down through the raindrops that are falling here at Nathan Benderson Park.
Yeah, coming through 1250, 750 meters left in our exhibition race here of the lightweight women's pair. It is Italy in front of Australia and Germany. This United States boat is coached by Molly Hamrick of Princeton University, and it contains Emily Mullins from Stanford and Sarah Maeda, who you mentioned, Mark, from Boston University, that was also a bow in this boat last year, that won gold. So we'll see what happens. Certainly, this is the type of race, being that it's an exhibition, where you may want to try to go down the race course, figure out where the different sort of landmarks are, where you're going to make your moves in the final, and to try to test your speed at various points. But certainly it is to some extent kind of a race where we don't really know what these crews have been told by their coaches or what they're going to do down the race course, because all 5 of these boats will be in our A final in this event.
The breeze has picked up a bit of a crosswind here on the course, and the rain is falling fairly steadily as these rowers are coming down. But it's Sofia Tangheri and Maria Ludovica Costa from Italy in the lead right now over the boat of Jillian Roberts and Lucy Theodore from Australia. They are in second. Then it's back to Katharina Neal and Antonia Michaels from Germany, followed by the USA boat and then Mexico. And you can see the rain as we look up the course here at Nathan Benderson Park. Again, this will be the final race right now before this competition for the World Rowing U23 Championships will be suspended due to the weather. We've had mainly scattered showers here, David. You being a resident of Sarasota, Bradenton, they tend to be isolated showers and they kind of pop up and move on, and we're hoping that'll be the case here too.
And it should be. I'm not a meteorologist, but obviously on the picture you're seeing these boats now actually, I think, being ushered off of the race course in this event. But certainly the wind and the rain have picked up, and I think that the officials just want to make sure that everybody is safe, which is what they should be doing, and that's what we're seeing.
You've been watching live coverage on ESPN of the 2019 World Rowing Under-23 Championships from Sarasota, Bradenton, Florida, USA. We are now in a rain delay and will return to broadcasting the competition as soon as we can.